Yeah, Mr. Fitz here. Hope you're going well. This is video 2 of our CO2 Dragster series. This video, I'm going to show you how to cut your profiles of your block. So once you've completed this stage of the design, it's super important that you have spent some time sketching and designing your CO2 Dragster. So this, you should have your number of pages of concepts down to your final design. Your final design should have some dimensions on it, so you can work from this on here. Please don't just start mucking around with this. You should have a clear plan, which is based on your sketch designs. Okay, the next stage here, I am going to cut my side profiles. The same in production. I'm going to actually cut this using a bandsaw, and I'm going to need this design information from CAD. So first step here is I'm going to do a sketch on this face. Now, at this stage, I probably don't actually need my planes. I'm going to turn these off for now, just so they're not in the way, because all I really care about, and my origin, I'll turn that one off, all I care about is this side profile. All right, so let's do a sketch. Now, choose a face I'm going to sketch on here, with this as the back, and this is the front of my car. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a little tool here. You can use lines and arcs and things, but I'm actually going to use what's called the spline tool. This is a really useful tool that allows me to create curved and smooth edges. So here we go, spline tool. Now starting from the back, I'm going to make the back of mine a little bit lower than the profile. So based on my sketch design here, I'm going to come fairly horizontal. Design's going to have a step in it like this. It's going to come across and have another final step. Like this, down to the bottom. So as far as the spline tool is concerned, it's a matter of just pressing and clicking these points. They're going to be the control points. At the end, I'm going to go back down to the bottom of my block. To finish off my spline, what I do is I press the escape key on my keyboard, and you'll see that builds my spline. Now I'm still in the spline tool, press escape to get out of that one. Now what's cool here is I've pinned this to the edge here. All these other points, however, I can move these and adjust my design for however I choose. Just going to move these, and that will adjust my curvature. So my design's going to come a little bit back actually, so I've drawn it a bit rough to start with. That's going to be my shape. You can also move this constraint here, that changes that around. So my car's going to have a big back section. It's going to have sort of like a cockpit area, so it's going to look a little bit like a drag funny car, and it has a bit of a bonnet there like that. That's going to be my profile. Cool. Now, in order to cut that, double check to make sure that this doesn't get in the way of your hole. Also check that the overall dimensions are within the specifications. My car's going to be a bit shorter than 300. It's going to be, I think I've got it 270 in my design. So I'm going to put some measurements on this. Now, in order to cut out that profile there, I want to get rid of that. I must make sure that this becomes a closed loop. So I'll show you what I mean by that. I'm going to use the line tool to build my loop. I'm actually going to overbuild it. So I'm going to draw a line out from here, horizontal. I'm going to come up out here like this, just to make sure that this thing's going to pick up all my detail. I'm going to build it out, and down, and there. You see, as soon as I close that loop, that's going to shade that. That's now a shape that I can extrude. I can't extrude a line, I can only extrude a closed shape. Press escape to get out of that key there. Now I'm going to put a dimension, I'm going to go from the back of my block, so click on the line, and I'm going to go to that point there, and that's going to be 275. You see how that moves everything along? Just double check that must be brought out to ensure that I go around there like that. That looks pretty cool. I'm happy with that curvature. I can tweak and move this however I want, but that looks fine to me. You can now see that goes beyond. One thing you can do to make this a bit neater is I can put some dimensions on here. Let's make that one 10. Let's go from there to there. So click on those two lines, make that 10. that line to that line, make that one 10. And then I can go from there to there and make that one 10 as well. That just ensures that this is beyond it. You don't have to do that, but that's good practice. I'm going to also put a dimension from the bottom to the top there and make that one 60. That's based on my sketch design. Press escape to get out of the dimension tool. I'm just going to tweak this slightly. I'm happy with that. Cool. That's my side profile. Next step is press extrude. Now, all going well, as long as you've got a closed loop there and all your lines are connected, you should be able to cut that out. So remember to cut, I go remove in the extrude tool. And you've got to make sure that it goes through. So I can click on that line and just pull it through my part, or you can put the measurement in the depth. Let's just say 50 and click on the tick. There we go. There's my side profile of my car. Looks pretty cool. Now, I'd encourage you in your design to not have just only a side profile, but a top profile. So if you're looking from the top of your design, it'd be cool to shape this a little bit. I'm going to show you how to do that. As this is now no longer a flat face, I can't sketch on that curved face. I'm going to sketch on the bottom. So create a sketch, click on the bottom face of your part. Now, according to my design, my car is going to have a bit of a narrowing through the middle around and be wider where my wheels are. So I'm going to use the arc tool here. So my side profile is going to be fairly simple. It's just going to have, I draw from there to about there. I'm just going to drag my arc in. I'm going to cut out that section of it. Now, I'm going to show you something in a second, a new tool, because I want this thing to be symmetrical. So wherever I draw on this side, I want it to be the same on the other side. Now, I'm just going to tweak this. So just going to get this how I want it. So I'm going to move my arc a little bit higher. Just bring that in a little bit as far as the radius. Cool, that looks good to me. Now remember, I can't extrude that arc. I need to draw a line here. So I've got to close this off. So I'm going to draw a line between those 2 points. And that should now give me an area to extrude. Cool. Now to make this thing the same on both sides, I'm actually going to draw a line. Go the line tool, draw a line from the midpoint of the bottom here to the midpoint of the bottom here. Escape, that's going to be my construction line. So right click and make that construction. Now what I can do here is, good practice here would actually be to dimension. So from that edge to there, see how far that is. Let's just go 50. And from the back to there to there, let's make that 90. Now, mirror tool, this one here, mirror. Up there says select a mirror line. So this is going to be the line I'm going to mirror across. And it says select the entities to be mirrored. That's going to be that arc and that line. There and there. Cool, that's what I want. Press escape to get out of the mirror tool. Beautiful. My sketch is done there. You can see that this arc, I can move how far in that goes. So you might want to dimension that or just drag it how you want it. Next, extrude. So you can see here, it's going to grab those little slithers and extrude it. Of course, I want this to be cut, so I must click on remove, which is going to go up, and I'm going to drag this through my whole part. You see it's going to cut that nice and neat. That's what I want. Click on the tick. Beautiful. There we go. Top profile of my shape. Looks a bit more interesting. We'll cut that on the bandsaw. All right, next step here. I've actually decided in my design I'm going to have a little cutout on the bottom here. So I'm going to quickly do that one again just to show you. So sketch, choose that side face. I'm going to do this as a line. So I'm going to come out horizontal. I want a bit of weight saving on my design here. So I'm going to draw a line and an arc like so. Press escape to get out of that one. To make sure that this one and this one are nice and smooth, I think it's done it automatically, but there's a constraint here called tangent. I just make sure that the line and the arc are nice and smooth. And I'm just going to put that there. Let's dimension it. So from the bottom edge to here, I'm going to make that 15. And I'm going to go, that point to there is going to be 40. That looks good enough. Cool. All right. Extrude. Remove. Whoop. Now, not working. Why is it not working? Missing faces. Because in my sketch, I didn't close the loop. So get back into the sketch, right click, edit. I need to draw some lines to close it. Simple mistake. Draw there to there to there. Press escape. That's now a closed loop. Extrude. Remove. Let's go 50 millimeters through the part. Click on the tick. There we go. Cool. Nice little cutout there. Now that's pretty much my profile finished. The last step here is a few things I can do. I'm actually next going to cut in my axle holes. So I'm going to do another sketch using a flat face. So that's a flat face at the moment. I'm going to sketch on here. Now here's where I'm going to add my axle holes for my wheels. So what you need to do is grab the circle tool, just draw a little circle there, come across. You can see I can try to draw in the same line, another circle there, press escape. Now let's make these two holes equal. So using this geometric constraint, I can go equal, and I can say that hole and that hole are equal. There we go. And then add in a dimension and make this hole like this. This is going to be 3.5 millimeters. That's the size of my axle holes. And you can see now that it needs more information. So you're going to have to dimension where these holes go and double check the regs on this one. This hole, I'm going to move mine at the front a bit. Dimension. Now from the bottom to the hole center is a really important dimension. I think it's between 4 to 9 mil. I'm going to make mine 7. Do check the spacing of these as well. So from the centers, it's called your wheelbase. I'm going to make mine 200. A bit less, 175. That looks good. And I can also go, say, from the front edge of my work to that hole. I'm going to make mine 45. And that's going to be good. Cool. Ensure you got your dimensions on there and that this complies with the specs. Next, extrude, remove, and go through the part. Let's make it 50. Awesome. Cool. Getting there. That's my holes for my wheels. A bit later, I can put my wheels on in the assembly and see how that looks. And I can tweak things and go back. Anytime, if you're not happy with what you've done, everything in here is available for you to go in and adjust. So if you can right click on the sketch, right click and go edit, I can come back here and change my dimensions. Click on the tick to approve that, and off we go. That's looking cool. I don't mind that shape. I'm pretty happy with that. What I might actually do, I'm decided I'm actually going to change, edit sketch of this one. I'm going to move this profile back a little bit. Let's go 65, and let's make that one 110. Oops, let's go 80. Click on the tick, and that just moves that back a little bit so the wheels are on the flat. Cool. Very last thing before you push on, one useful tool from here that you can start playing with to tidy up your design is the fillet tool. Where I normally start is on this side profile. I'm going to fillet these edges here. That's going to give me a continuous curve. So if I click those 4, I'm going to put a 20 millimeter radius on these. You can see it's really small because they're not very far off of being tangent. Click on the tick. That smooths that one there. And you can keep using the fillet tool or the chamfer tool. This one here, we just choose an edge and it will help curve your shape. 20 is too big here. I'm going to go 5. And I'm going to curve that one as well. Let's go a bit more. Let's go 7.5. Nice. Start to see you can get a bit of a cool design happening there. Beautiful. I'm also going to fill at the back of mine here. There and there. With the same fillet. Nice one. Cool looking design. The wheels are going to go on there. The next step, I'm going to show you how to draft this and assemble it. Catch ya.